Airbus does not get its biggest paychecks from jets. Everyone knows Airbus as the maker of iconic passenger planes like the A320neo and A350. But selling aircraft is just part of the story. Behind the scenes, Airbus is earning billions in ways that rarely make headlines. From government contracts and defense satellites to hidden service deals and data-driven technology, the company has built a business model that stretches far beyond the runway. In this video, we reveal the surprising ways Airbus makes its money, and why these strategies might matter more than the planes themselves. To understand how Airbus makes its money today, we first have to travel back to the late 1960s. European aviation was fragmented, and US giants like Boeing dominated the skies. In response, the governments of France, West Germany, and eventually the United Kingdom and Spain chose to unite their efforts. In 1970, Airbus Industrie was officially born as a consortium, a groupement d'intérêt économique, essentially a cooperative economic group. The founding partners were France's Aerospatiale and West Germany's Deutsche Airbus, each sharing equal stakes in the venture, with other European firms like Hawker Siddeley, Fokker VFW, and later CASA joining in with their own portions of production work. Airbus opted for an innovative manufacturing model. The work was spread across countries, with each partner building specific parts. France crafted the cockpit and central fuselage. Germany handled the forward and rear sections. Britain took on the wings. The Netherlands produced flaps and spoilers, and Spain contributed the tailplanes. All these components were then delivered to Toulouse, France, for final assembly. The first Airbus aircraft, the A300, took its maiden flight in 1972 and entered service in 1974. It stood out as the world's first wide-body twin-engine airliner, a bold move that aimed to offer better operating economics. Leadership played a key role too. Henri Ziegler, a French engineer and former test pilot, was one of the founding figures and served as the company's first chief executive. He secured essential backing from the French government for the A300 program and helped guide Airbus through its earliest, most uncertain years. At first, Airbus struggled to overcome skepticism. Its early aircraft were viewed as risky and sales were slow. But perseverance paid off. By the 1980s and 90s, Airbus had launched the A310 and, more importantly, the A320 in 1987, introducing groundbreaking fly-by-wire technology. This era marked the turning point where Airbus began to grow from a cooperative experiment into a serious global competitor. Fast forward to 2000, and the highly fragmented consortium structure evolved further. Airbus became part of a larger entity, European Aeronautic Defence and Space Company, or EADS, which held about 80% of Airbus, while BAE Systems held the remainder. In 2006, EADS acquired BAE's share, leading to a more streamlined and integrated Airbus. In 2014, EADS rebranded as Airbus Group, and by 2017, the company adopted the single name Airbus. Today, Airbus is a global aerospace leader with divisions that extend far beyond commercial aircraft, including defense, space, and helicopters. Its income streams reach into far corners of the aviation and technology world. What follows next are the less obvious, behind-the-scenes ways Airbus actually makes its money, so stay tuned. Liking this story so far? Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dives. We've got more coming that will change how you look at aviation forever. When Airbus set its sights on the future, it wasn't just building airplanes, it was rewriting the rules of flight. Its engineers dared to dream bigger, faster, and smarter. Rivals dismissed the idea. Critics called it risky. But Airbus turned those doubts into innovation that shocked the world. From cutting-edge materials to unprecedented design choices, the company pushed boundaries few thought possible. Airlines took notice, passengers were captivated, and competitors started to sweat. The skies were about to witness a shakeup unlike anything since the dawn of jet travel. But where does the real money come from? Because understanding Airbus's success means looking beyond the wings and into the engines that power its profits. And some might surprise you. Airbus's first hidden but massive source of revenue comes from its defense and space division. In 2024, this division brought in 12.1 billion euros in revenues, marking a 5% year-on-year increase, mainly driven by its air power business, including military aircraft programs like the A400M. The backbone of this revenue growth is the A400M military airlifter. In that year, Airbus delivered 7 A400Ms. Later, Airbus secured commitments from France and Spain to receive 4 and 3 new units respectively, extending production through 2028. The company is also seeking export clients with the goal of sustaining production potentially to 2030. However, this program has had expensive challenges. Airbus has taken significant write-downs and financial charges. In 2020 to 2024, ongoing technical and order uncertainties caused Airbus to add a €121 million charge, further straining profitability. Beyond that, Airbus Defence and Space builds a wide range of military aircraft. These include combat jets like the Eurofighter Typhoon and Panavia Tornado, transporters such as the C-212, C-235, and the A330M RTT, a refueling conversion of the A330 airliner. The division also supports unmanned systems and offers support and training, known in industry as maintenance, repair, and overhaul (MRO). Space is another core pillar. Airbus Defence and Space has manufactured over 70 Eurostar satellites, part of its long-running telecommunications satellite series, which provide critical services like broadcasting, broadband, and secure military communications. These satellites have accumulated more than 500 years of continuous operation. The division also produces rocket engines like HM-7B, Estes, Vinci, and Vulcain, supporting commercial launch vehicles. It offers geospatial services like One Atlas, a global satellite image base map used for defense, security, intelligence, and strategic planning. In early 2020 till 24, Airbus formed Starlab Space LLC, a joint venture with Voyager Space. Its mission is to design, build, and operate a commercial space station, marking Airbus's strategic move into orbital infrastructure beyond traditional satellites. But this division is not just profitable. It also faces major financial and structural pressures. The space segment alone recorded almost €1.3 billion in charges in 2024, including €300 million in the final quarter. These charges reflect delays, technical challenges, and losses on projects like the OneSat reprogrammable satellite constellation. In response, Airbus's CEO has signaled a push for European consolidation in space. He is in initial talks with Thales and Leonardo to consolidate satellite activities to gain scale and speed, and to remain competitive amid rising challenges. The Airbus Defence and Space Division spans military transport jets, combat aircraft, and unmanned systems, while also operating a vast satellite and space infrastructure business. Its revenue streams are complex and heavily tied to government contracts, long production cycles, and cutting-edge technology. The financial performance is a tale of rising revenue, but offset by enormous charges, reflecting the high stakes and hidden scale of what Airbus earns beyond passenger jets. Airbus's second major income stream comes from long-term service and support agreements, commonly called aftermarket services. This area generates recurring revenue across the entire lifecycle of an aircraft, far beyond the one-time payment at delivery. According to Airbus's Global Services forecast, the global aircraft services market is projected to grow from approximately $150 billion in 2024 to nearly $290 billion by 2043. In Europe alone, the services market is expected to climb by almost 49%, rising from $37 billion to $55 billion over the same period. Within this market, the largest share comes from maintenance, which in Europe makes up about 85% of the total services value. This confirms that basic upkeep, from replacing worn parts to overhauling engines, is a foundational revenue source for Airbus. Interesting, right? Yet, that's not all. In North America, Airbus forecasts that by 2042, maintenance services will grow from $26 billion to $38 billion, while system enhancements and connectivity upgrades will rise from $1.9 billion to $4.1 billion. The market for training and operations support is also expected to climb from $2.5 billion to $3 billion. These contracts are often multi-year deals with airlines and governments. They may converge on maintenance, spare parts, pilot training, or software upgrades. Airbus frequently secures these deals quietly, ensuring long-term revenue far beyond the sale of the aircraft itself. One game changer within this space is predictive maintenance. Airbus, together with MRO provider Delta Tech Ops and GE Aerospace, created the Digital Alliance for Aviation powered by its Skywise platform. By late 2024, about 11,600 aircraft were connected to Skywise, allowing Airbus to monitor hundreds of system components in real time. The platform's predictive maintenance module, Skywise Fleet Performance Plus, can significantly reduce delays and cancellations. For instance, EasyJet reported that Skywise Fleet Performance Plus helped them avoid 44 flight cancellations in July 2024 and another 35 in August. They estimate fuel savings of about 8.1 tons per A320 family aircraft per year thanks to this system. Airbus continues to expand this offering. The Digital Alliance aims to cover more aircraft types, including the A350 and a 220, and by 2026, plans to extend services even to non-Airbus planes. Another part of the service revenue comes from OEM services, a specialized unit that supports multiple Airbus platforms. OEM Services signs contracts to provide spare parts and component support, such as for the A350 fleet on behalf of airlines like Ethiopian Airlines and Japan Airlines. These multi-year agreements reinforce Airbus's hold on parts, training, and technical support long after delivery. Airbus's second revenue pillar is built on long-term service contracts, maintenance, training, spare parts, and software updates that keep aircraft flying efficiently. These partnerships deliver predictable income over decades, boosted by advanced tools like Skywise and supported by dedicated teams and platforms. It's not just about selling airplanes, it's about servicing them through every flight. Airbus is expanding its horizons beyond traditional aviation through strategic partnerships and ventures in emerging technologies. These collaborations aim to diversify revenue streams and mitigate risks associated with market fluctuations in commercial aviation. In March 2025, Airbus and Australian aerospace startup Droneforge signed a letter of intent to collaborate on deploying and integrating the FlexRotor uncrewed aerial system in the Asia-Pacific region. This partnership shows Airbus's commitment to advancing drone technologies for various applications, including surveillance and logistics. Airbus is actively developing electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL aircraft as part of its urban air mobility initiatives. In February 2024, Airbus and LCI, a leading aviation company, announced a collaboration to jointly develop ecosystems for advanced air mobility. The partnership focuses on strategy, commercialization, and financing in the eVTOL sector. Additionally, Airbus and Avincis, a European helicopter operator, signed a Memorandum of Understanding in June 2024 to explore opportunities for operating eVTOL aircraft throughout Europe. This collaboration aims to establish a foundation for the future of urban air mobility in the region. Airbus is investing in hydrogen fuel cell technology to promote sustainable aviation. In June 2025, Airbus and MTU Aero Engines signed a Memorandum of Understanding to advance hydrogen fuel cell propulsion, a critical technology for decarbonizing aviation. Furthermore, Airbus founded AeroStack, a joint venture with Elring-Klinger, to research, develop, and assemble fuel cell stacks for future hydrogen-powered aircraft. These initiatives are part of Airbus's broader strategy to lead in sustainable aviation technologies. In August 2023, Airbus and Voyager Space announced a joint venture to develop, build, and operate Starlab, a commercial space station intended to succeed the International Space Station. The collaboration includes partners such as Mitsubishi Corporation and MDA Space. If anything, Airbus is the king of strategy, and that's where all the wealth is actively being built. Airbus is also involved in the European Space Agency's Rosalind Franklin mission, which aims to launch Europe's first Mars rover in 2028. Airbus is responsible for building the lander's platform, a crucial component for the mission's success. These strategic partnerships and ventures demonstrate Airbus's commitment to innovation and diversification, positioning the company to capitalize on emerging technologies and markets beyond traditional aviation. And the last source of money on our list? Tighten your seatbelts, we are about to dive into the most interesting part. Airbus has evolved beyond simply manufacturing planes, satellites, and helicopters. It has embraced a new frontier where data and technology drive income. Every modern aircraft is effectively a flying network of sensors, computers, and communication nodes, producing enormous streams of information each second. From the moment a jet pushes back from the gate until it lands, it gathers millions of data points on engine performance, structural loads, fuel burn, environmental conditions, and pilot inputs. Airbus recognized early that this information could be transformed into revenue by building analytics platforms that turn raw numbers into actionable insights for airlines, cargo carriers, and even leasing companies. This strategy is known internally as a digital aftermarket, an ecosystem where information, not just hardware, is sold. The digital aftermarket focuses on predictive maintenance, operational efficiency, and lifecycle management. For example, a carrier operating an Airbus narrow-body fleet may use these platforms to detect component fatigue before it leads to failure. By flagging problems days or weeks ahead, the airline reduces downtime and extends part life, saving millions over the lifespan of its fleet. Airbus's Skywise platform, launched in 2017, is one of the strongest examples of this approach. It aggregates and anonymizes vast pools of operational data from hundreds of aircraft worldwide, then uses algorithms to highlight patterns invisible to the human eye. Airlines pay subscription fees to access dashboards, scenario planners, and integration tools. In an industry where even a 0.5% improvement in fuel efficiency can save hundreds of thousands of dollars annually, such insights have measurable value. The monetization strategy extends beyond airlines. Airbus offers governments, airports, and maintenance firms access to modules that support regulatory compliance and asset tracking. A military operator may use secure variants of these systems to monitor mission-critical fleets, while a leasing company can assess residual values using health trend data, rather than relying solely on visual inspections. Airbus also integrates artificial intelligence and machine learning to refine predictions and manage the complexity of mixed fleets. The commercial logic is clear. Hardware sales are cyclical, but data subscriptions create stable recurring revenue. Another important revenue driver is the integration of third-party data. Airbus collaborates with weather services, fuel suppliers, and air traffic management systems, combining their inputs with aircraft telemetry to give operators a complete view of efficiency and safety. These partnerships increase the stickiness of Airbus's digital ecosystem and generate additional licensing fees. Because data is stored and processed on secure cloud platforms, Airbus also earns revenue from hosting and cybersecurity services. The scale is enormous. Each wide-body aircraft can generate several terabytes of information on a single long-haul flight, all of which has potential commercial value when aggregated. Engine makers and component manufacturers subscribe to selected datasets to improve their own designs and forecast demand for spare parts. This creates a network effect where the more participants join, the more valuable the platform becomes. Airbus has effectively built a second economy around its machines, one that continues to grow regardless of airline order cycles. While passengers rarely see this side of the business, its influence stretches across finance, operations, safety, and sustainability, ensuring that every sensor pulse in the sky has a potential price tag on the ground. Airbus's journey shows that even a global aerospace leader can rely on far more than selling planes to sustain itself. Massive projects, cutting-edge technology, and high-profile milestones coexist with quieter, hidden revenue streams that drive billions in income. Government contracts, long-term service deals, strategic partnerships, and data monetization create a complex ecosystem where timing, planning, and execution are as crucial as engineering. Market dynamics, program delays, and high-stakes contracts combine to shape the company's financial reality. The story is not just about aircraft or satellites. It is about strategy, foresight, and leveraging every opportunity in a highly competitive industry. Airbus demonstrates that success in modern aviation demands an intricate balance of innovation, business acumen, and long-term planning. Some companies inspire admiration for their visible achievements, but the real power often lies behind the scenes. And Airbus is a prime example. Sustained success requires more than designing remarkable planes. It demands careful strategy, enduring partnerships, and the ability to monetize innovation in ways the public rarely sees. This is why we examine these stories, to uncover the hidden engines of profit, the decisions that shape aerospace, and the ventures that define the industry. If you want more deep dives into the world of aviation, the strategies behind global aerospace leaders, and the programs that quietly generate billions, subscribe and join us for every revelation. Have an aircraft, program, or aerospace saga we should explore next? Comment below, we read them all.